Hey everyone, welcome back to Elemental Cartomancy. Today I'm coming on to do a side-by-side, and this is a side-by-side between the two versions of the ZANEY Tarot. So the ZANEY Tarot is a deck that was created just over a year ago now by our very own Zane Hughes from Tarot Token Witchery, much loved member of the tarot community. Zane created this deck, the original, just over a year ago, as I say, and he's just recently released the ZANEY Tarot First Anniversary Edition, which is the one on the right. And Zane has changed quite a lot of the cards within the ZANEY Tarot. So I received this through the week, and I thought it'd be quite interesting to do a side-by-side comparison. So that's what I'm here to do today for you. So, first of all, I believe, yeah, so both card stocks are the same. They're both the S33 Superior Smooth, if I've remembered that rightly. And I believe they're definitely both the same size, but I think they're the standard US Games, yeah, standard US Games tarot size. Okay. What I thought might be quite interesting actually, because Zane has changed up quite a few of the images, would be to kind of as I go along, if there's one that I prefer over the other, I'm going to kind of distinguish it, and at the end I'm going to kind of count up, how many do I prefer from this deck, how many from that, and see, I mean, which deck is the winner? Is that the way that I want to put it? Now the other thing I wanted to say that's right is that Zane created this deck through Canva, which it's just really cool, the stuff that he's created using it. So anyway, without further ado, let's get started. So we start off with the card backs, okay? Now, I loved the first edition card backs, absolutely loved them. The kind of a black background with the green kind of a starriness, and then the two triquetras. I just love it. However, I am a Rocky Horror fiend. I love Rocky Horror, and this is just something else. So, in terms of the card backs, the first anniversary edition kind of wins that one for me. Let's get started on the actual cards themselves. So on the left we have the original ZANEY Tarot. On the right we have the first anniversary edition of the ZANEY Tarot. And right away we can see some of the changes that have been made. So we can see the Fool has had a complete overhaul. On the left we have just this kind of this wee wizard boy, shall we call him that? This little wizard who is running off the end of the cliff. The wee dog is hot on his heels, and the dog was, I think, supposed to represent Sebastian. Moving forward to the first anniversary edition, Zane has changed it up, and I believe that this actually represents Zane himself, and I think he's managed to get a better likeness of his dog, Sebastian. Um, so if I'm going to pick between the two, then I'm going to pick this one. I think this is that this is really on point, and I believe that um, this is the image, or it's similar to the image that's on the tin that you can get for the ZANEY Tarot. Now the Magician, um, and I have to say actually there are alternative magicians in the first anniversary edition. Um, I really like both. I really enjoy how we see all the elements represented here. We've got the wand in the hand, we've got the dagger, the pentacle on the cloth, and then the cup. Um, However, I really love the character here. I think that's really, really sweet. Let me show you the alternative magician that we get. So here we're getting kind of we're seeing the four elements represented in the corners. Um, and yeah, I love I just love the dancing magician. It's not very often we see that kind of a, that kind of a action happening with the magician. So I think, well, firstly, if I'm going to pick between these two, I'm not sure he's quite cute as much as he's like a cartoon character. I quite like him. But I do love that. I just, I don't know. I'm struggling to pick. What do you guys think? Which would you pick? Um, I think I love both magicians, just generally anyway. I don't think I would pick one over the other when it comes to the original edition and the first anniversary edition. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that there for now. The High Priestess hasn't changed, as you can see, and the High Priestess actually resembles, a lot of us have said, our very own Jilly from Little Zen Grown, and I think that that's why Zane is kept it the same. And I love this card. I think this is beautiful. The Empress. Um, we see this kind of a more Fey type representation in the first anniversary in the new edition. In the original edition, we see this kind of this goddess within the forest. I think if I was going to pick, I'd probably pick the original. However, I do appreciate the stunning beauty, the burst of colour that we see in this one as well. The Emperor. Interesting. We almost have this kind of a pan type representation in the new edition of the Emperor. Um, I do really like the original edition simply because I like the idea of seeing the softer side of the Emperor. I think a lot of us struggle with the Emperor simply because it's seen as this kind of a um, sometimes toxic masculinity kind of an element, exerting control over others. And I think we kind of see a different side to him here. So I really do love this Emperor here. The Hierophant. Both have kind of a Jesus vibes. And I know that Zane had said, in his view, Jesus, would have been a Hierophant, a teacher, a guide, or was rather, not would have been. Um, I think both are stunning. I do really love the owl here. The owl is a symbol of wisdom, and it's got this kind of a mandala type effect to it as well. So yeah, and the colours as well. I love the kind of the colours of the rainbow. The lovers. So here, is there? Yeah, there is just. So here we see the kind of the Pride event type lovers. Here we see two mermaids, and we almost get this kind of. In fact, yeah, we do. We have the yin and yang um, type representation here. I think both are really stunning. I do really love this just because it's um, to male presenting people that are at a pride event, which is all about love. I think this is really cool. The chariot. The chariots are there's been changes made, but on the whole they're quite similar. The whale's been changed up a bit. Is that to make it more realistic, or just to kind of give it a bit of a change in feel? I'm not sure. And the colourings are slightly darker in the newer edition. Strength card is stunning. There's been no changes made. I'm happy about that. I think the strength card is really a really stunning card. I love it. The Hermit. So we appear to have we've got this little chap who's I'm not really sure what he's doing here. Is this a mushroom? Um, the original Hermit was maybe more traditional. Um, so yeah, no, both are quite cool. Wheel of Fortune. So in this one, we were seeing the phases of the moon, and that kind of a cyclic idea, kind of like what the idea that the Wheel of Fortune it goes round, it is cyclic. Here we see the moon and the waves. Um, so yeah, I did appreciate the original Wheel of Fortune. I quite like the idea of seeing the phases of the moon represented there. Justice card. I actually really like both of these justices. I loved what Zane did with the original Justice card. For one, you notice that there isn't an actual title on the card, and that was with purpose because he wanted you to read the signs. Um, and that this is like a Black Lives Matter rally or event, and I just think it was a really kind of a powerful card at the time, and it still remains to be. The polar bear. Now, I've not had a chance to speak to Zane, and well, I've not kind of asked him where he was going with each of the images. I've not had that discussion. Um, the polar bears I like, from my point of view, when I see this, I think of cause and effect. And that for me is what just the justice card, justice as an archetype, is all about. It's what it's speaking to us about. It's speaking to us about cause and effect. You know, what we're doing to the world is melting the polar ice caps. And this is essentially what is happening, and that's an effect of our actions. So I actually really like this. I really like both of them. The hanged one. So we get the different ideas, maybe more traditional hanged one, upside down from the tree here, whereas here we see the spaceman suspended in space, taking a different viewpoint of the Earth, of the world. Both quite powerful images. I did really, really like the original one, and I really like that the word hanged was upside down. I thought that was really cool. Death, I think I'm going to have to go with the newer Death here. It's stunning. I love that we don't have the title. I love that it's titleless. I I love that. So you can see this kind of a heart down at the bottom here. The bones are exposed. So in a lot of traditional Marseille decks, Death is depicted as a skeleton, and the idea is the skeleton is the most enduring part of the body. It's what's left behind when we're buried, and the rest of our body is decomposed. The skeleton is what's left behind till the end. That's the hardest part of the body. It's the most enduring part, and that's quite significant in the death card. Um, with all that said, I do still really like this, but this one just I love that red sun. It's so beautiful. Um, so yeah, temperance. So we're seeing the kind of the idea of taking the middle path here. Not going to one extreme or the other. Kind of taking that middle path, that pillar of mildness in the middle of the tree of life. Um, Over here we kind of I don't even see it very well with the colours, but the actual background of the card is split into two colours, and you can see the angel, the angel of temperance is kind of straddling the centre, and we also have the representation of the water being poured, which is quite traditional for temperance. Again, I do quite like both of these. Our devil cards. So here we had Krampus being represented. Um, and we see that Krampus has obviously got these two strapping young chaps chained up outdoors in swimsuits in the winter. Um, it wouldn't be me. Here we see something quite different. We see this character who appears to have a really small head, but this big muscular body. So is it all brawn and no brains? Is maybe where we're going, where Zane was going with this. Um, and we see this eye in the sky as well. It's really cool. I'm not quite sure which one I prefer actually. The Tower, absolutely stunning. I love both. I really like this. I love dinosaurs. Anything with dinosaurs and I'm sold. And this representation of, what happened to the dinosaurs. Yeah, it's really really cool. Kind of a idea for the tower. Star, the background's changed from white to blue, but other than that, we've still got the kind of the same idea. So quite similar, but I do love I love both. I love the blue background here. Another thing that you'll notice actually that I've not commented on so far is the change in font. So you can see that Zane has changed the font from one deck to the other of the titles. The moon is the same across both cards, and it's a really stunning moon. The sun, so we can see that the sun itself has been changed. We see this, I was going to say a spiral, but it's not actually a spiral. I don't know, the way the light's catching it is making it funny. I don't know if you can see that there, but it's not a spiral, it's like circles within circles within circles. It's not quite spiral. It's more just, the circles get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's more waves, actually. If you drop a pebble in the ocean, in a calm river or something, you can imagine the rippling waves, the ripple effect, doing something like that. Um, and then we've got our happy sun over here. For me personally, I'm always going to go with this one because I've got a thing about faces on suns and moons. It's never been my bag. I don't particularly, it doesn't really put me off or anything, but just yeah, I'm just always going to go with this choice when I get it. And I never commented on, I never really noticed it until I almost put the cards away. Like obviously have the tree, and there's a lot more detail in this card as well. So Zane's obviously gone back and added a lot into this, which is pretty cool. Judgment. Again, we have the colours of the rainbow represented. I think this is pretty cool. Just really nice the way he's done it. Uh, I think it's just more. I think Zane's just refined it, is what I would say. It's the same kind of imagery. I would just say this maybe looks a wee bit more refined. And I really love it. I think it's really good, and I think he's done a really good job there. I love this as well, though. And we have our world, which is the same across both. It's just as I say, the font that's changed. And we have our beautiful, world dancer, who is absolutely stunning. Okay, on to the suit of wands or fire. So as we can see from the original to the new, the first anniversary edition, Zane has made the decision to change from, wands, swords, cups, and discs or pentacles to the elements. So here we have fire, air, water, and earth. Okay. So other than that, we can see our aces are, the same. Our twos. So again, we're seeing more or less the same, but just some of the details have been refined, I think. I love the red background in this one. I think, again, I think he's done a really good job. I think the threes are pretty much the same. And we get that, that traditional idea of waiting for your ship to come in, You've taken the actions and now you're waiting with bated breath to see what's going to come of it. Okay, we'll get very different. Well, they're not really very different, are they? They're both kind of a weddings. This is nice because we saw the two women getting married. The lesbian couple getting married, which was really beautiful to see. This is nice because we're seeing a marriage from a different culture. So both really stunning. Um, I love there's just something about the colours in this one that really pops out at me, but they are both stunning cards. Five of Wands or Five of Fire, and that one seems to want to run away. So here we see the kids fighting over the toys, and then is this little girl, is she crying over spilled milk? Although we don't really see any milk that's spilled, but um, here it's the kind of a playground, um, that playground fighting between the lads, the boys in the playground. Um, both have quite a similar feel. They're both quite cool. Okay, so again, I think here the cards are quite similar. Um, actually, so I've just noticed. Okay, so in the new edition, Zane's not necessarily got like the. So if you notice in the original edition, we see four wands and we see five wands here, represented with the pencils. In the new edition, it doesn't necessarily have that, so we don't see five wands here. We don't see four wands here. We do see three here. So some of them do have that the kind of the pips represented, but it doesn't necessarily have that right across. So that's quite cool actually. I quite like that. Um, that's right. And we were looking at the sixes. So yeah, that was because I noticed it missing from here. But yeah, like I say, this has just been refined. It's really nice. I love the background. The eagle is really cool. Um, the addition of the leopard as well. I mean, or the cheetah, is it rather? Sorry. Yeah, absolutely stunning. I love it. We have the Seven of Fire, Seven of Wands, and again, as you can see, the pips have been removed from this one. I think this is really cool. Eight of Wands, both have quite a similar feel. Really, just I think the background has changed. Both have the. So I don't think I actually noticed this when I did my walkthrough of this. Like, must have been over a year ago now. But each paper airplane has a wand drawn onto it, and we still get that in this one, which is pretty cool. Nine of Wands. Not much change, just the background has been kind of a refined. Really, really nice. I love the kind of a orange, kind of a sunsetty colours. Ten of Fire. I think the images are pretty similar, if not the same. Okay, our pages, we can see that there's quite a difference here. We see our page of wands in the original, the adventurer, climbing up the mountains despite obviously risks going on in the background. Our page of fire here, we still get the kind of the backpack, still get the idea of going off on an adventure, the enthusiasm. So it's pretty cool. Okay, we have our knights. So here we have a much more traditional knight-looking person, albeit they're hold. I suppose a knight does always hold a sword, but yeah, I love again, I love the orange of the background here. Um, Whereas here we see the knight abseiling or cliff climbing. I'm not sure if he's, but there's the nice wee addition of the bird that's holding the wand there, which is pretty cool. Can't seem to get that to focus. It's probably because my hand's in the way. It's focusing in on my hand. If I put it down there and just take my hand away. Hmm. It's a mystery wrapped in enigma. What if I stick it there? Will it focus then? It's really annoying. Kinda. Maybe it's just the colours. Anyway, Queen of Wands. So we get this idea of her being a superhero, you know, she's casting this shadow of a superhero in the background. Here we see her, you know, dancing and celebrating and having a great time around the fire. That's really nice. Our King of Wands. So yeah, so we get a similar kind of a feel. We still have the fox represented. We still have the, you know, the kind of a wizened old chap. Is he spell casting at the you know, the fire? I'm not sure, but we see some symbolism added here. We have this beautiful orange sky, although I do love the starry sky from the first one. Okay, and into the swords or air. So same except the, you know, the position of the title's changed, and obviously the title itself has changed. Or two. Now this appears to me to be just off black. It's not quite black. It's got more of a kind of a purpley look to it. I'm not sure if that was intentional, whereas this is like a deep black. You can kind of see the difference there, yeah. But apart from that, I think they're both pretty much the same, aren't they? And I do love this card. It's one of the ones that I really do like. Just the, you know, the idea of the choices and the duality. I think it does it really well. Three, quite similar. Just the colours changed of the poppet. Is that the right word? But we still have the anatomical heart um, being pierced by the swords. Okay, our Four of Swords. Oops. So across both, we get the idea of taking a break, taking a rest. I think this is really, really stunning, really nice. It does it really well. So does this. Just a different setting, you know. This is more of a kind of a mythical fairy tale setting. This is more a mundane, you know, everyday life type setting. So I suppose it's just your preference. I like both. Five of Air, similar feel, but we can see obviously that the main character has changed. Um, that beautiful purple sky, look at that. Isn't that nice? The Six of Swords. So here we're getting this idea of, you know, changing your setting, moving from this kind of a, you know, this erupting volcano, this barren land. You're going through this portal to a better place. Um, Here we see someone who, you know, is obviously there's pain there. You can see the pain that we would associate with the choppy waters of the that are behind the boat, and we see them moving forward into this kind of a sunrise. Um, I think in this one it's maybe easier to get the message of the Six of Swords from it, depending on how you read the Six of Swords, I suppose. Um, I love the moon covered by clouds here. Just something really aesthetically pleasing about that. Our Seven of Air. So taking the wee chap out here, and we've just got the fox, and obviously, whereas here we had an actual fox, here it's this kind of a artistic image of the fox. And the background's changed. I do. I think I love this wee chap because if you look closely at him, see how his face is saying one thing, but like kind of that shadow, you know, it's saying something else. It's a completely different attitude that we see across both. So we get this idea of, you know, someone is not showing all sides to themselves. Someone is not being completely honest or not being upfront about their intentions, or at least that's the way that I see that. And I think that's really cool. I like that about that card. But I mean, look at the colours. How stunning is that? Okay, our Eight of Swords. Same. Our Nine. Okay. So, Zane, I'm hoping he doesn't mind me saying this, but Zane has a fear of sharks. Which is why I believe, which is why he's chosen the shark for the Nine of Air. Um, the person swimming, the sharks underneath. Um, Here we see, the idea of the nightmare is taking a hold of this wee girl. Um, so yeah, I think they're both pretty cool. Both pretty terrifying images, pretty fearful. Um, yeah, I really like them both. Okay, so here we go. We've got the Ten of Swords. Now, this was one of my favorite cards, if not my ultimate favorite, from the very get-go of the ZANEY Tarot. Um, so there's the changes that have been made. Let us see. So obviously the background's been changed. We have this beautiful purple background here, um, and the sun's been changed. Here we've got more of a kind of a forest backdrop, and the sun's much bigger. What is really powerful for me in this card, I'm not even sure if Zane intended this when he made it this way, but so do you see how the cape? She's got this cape here, right? And it's the same color as the blood. Um, so you get the idea in both that she's got up and she's moving on into that sunset, which is what the Ten of Swords is about. Moving forward with the lessons of the pains of our past. But what I love here is that she's taken, because of the same color, it's like she's taken the pain and turned it into her superpower. You know, that's the way that I read that, and I absolutely love it. So I do. So that I have to go with the original for this one because of the cape, purely because of the cape. I just love it. You can see that the swords have been kind of a refined though. There's more detail that you can see in the swords. They're a bit darker in the original. Um, but yeah, I absolutely love this card. Page of Swords. So we've obviously got representing the element of air here. So we see this, it looks like a wee boy who's got butterfly wings, and he's flying in the air. Here we see the kind of the curiosity of the Page of Swords, the kind of eager for knowledge, the looking to find new information. I mean, the light bulbs represent all these ideas that the Page of Swords has as well. So I think this is absolutely stunning. I love the colours. I've always been a sucker for purple and green together. I think they're not quite opposite colours, neither they are, because they both have blue, but still they pop nicely together. Okay, the Knight of Air. Um, okay, so both. It's interesting. We've got both. It's almost as though it's the same person. It's the same. Well, is it actually? Let's just hold that up quick. Well, yeah, it kind of could be. Um, but it's just at different points, and different settings. So that's quite cool. We have the kind of the head and the heart, or the brain and the heart, being measured against each other in both cards. The knight is winged in both cards. I think that both are really nice. Um, I think, yeah. Our queen. So we can see that I think it's pretty much the same character in both, but she's got these beautiful butterfly wings in this one. And our king. King of Swords. We have the owl, representing wisdom and both. So we see the heart being shown on the outside of the King of Swords in this one. Here, so we see I think this is the brain and the heart on the bottom. So it's like, you know, intellect over emotions, brain over heart, that kind of a thing. And that's, you know, that to me is pretty cool. That is what the King of Air is for me. Onto the Suit of Cups. Both pretty much the same, bar the title. I love that we've got the same in the Two of Cups as well. We've still got that cheeky wee bum feel. Okay, so I mean, again, I use this word refined. It's like he's taking the details from here, and I mean, you know, we can see that it's been changed up, but it's just it feels a bit more refined, doesn't it? Both are really cool. Done a really good job on both. Um, but I do like the kind of the added detail in this one. So our wee chap, he's been taken out of his room. He's been taken to, I'm not sure if this is the seaside or what, but you know, there's mermaids, there's dolphins behind him, and yet he's still not happy. I don't think anything could make that. I mean, he's even had his hair dyed pink, and his face is still tripping him. So yeah, I actually think these both I like the story that they tell together. I think it's really cool. Five of Water, Five of Cups, no changes. Six. So there's obviously just changed the. I love the original because we see them as old people and we see them as young people as well. And we get that idea of memories and casting your mind back. Um, Here it's a bit more implied because we just see the children kind of playing in the rain or playing in puddles or maybe that's a big river or something. I'm not sure, but we just see the joy and the happiness of them. It's actually quite cool actually this because I mean the Six of Water or the Six of Cups for me anyway. I don't necessarily always read it as nostalgia and memories and that kind of a thing. It's about harmonizing your emotions, you know. Which yeah, one of the ways that we can do that is to kind of take ourselves back to simpler and happier times, which is what we see here. But ultimately, it's about being able to feel that joy again, the pure emotions of the child. So this is actually really a really powerful image, I think. Seven of Water, the idea of choice, and maybe not being sure what you're getting out of it. I love the idea of the genie because genies were, my understanding is that they were tricksters and you had to be really careful what you wished for when it came to genies, because they would trick you. And I think that idea of not knowing where you stand, being illusioned under some illusion, that really fits in with the Seven of Water for me. So I think this is really cool. I like the change. The Eight of Water. So here we get the kind of a traditional idea of leaving somewhere, leaving something behind and going on to new pastures. Here, I suppose we do get that same idea because we see a mermaid on the shore, but there's not the same kind of a movement in this card. Um, it does have a real Little Mermaid feel to it though, doesn't it? Because is this Ursula, Sea Witch? And obviously the idea of the Little Mermaid is that she kind of um she knows what she wants and she makes up her mind and she wants to go and be with the human prince. both quite cool. Our Nine of Water. I think these are both quite cool images. Here we see this guy who's got not a care in the world. He's chilling back on his surfboard, just having that moment of pure joy. This is more like my moment of pure joy. Enjoying a nice bath with 9 glasses of wine. Give me 9 glasses of wine over some turtles any day. And then our Ten of Cups. I think both of these images are really nice. I do like that we have more of a kind of a family feel to this one though. I think that's really beautiful. Um, yeah, absolutely stunning. A Page of Water. Really, really nice. I like both of them. Our Knight of Cups. I like that we've kept the same character because I said when I initially looked at this that this reminds me of my partner. Bit of a goth feel to, well, not really goth. That's not fair. I suppose he used to be a bit of a mosher, but has that kind of a feel and really and like big feet, and it has a tartan picnic cloth as well. Actually, that's really good. Well, it's tartan. I need to pick that now, don't I? Our Queen of Cups. So we have pretty much the same, except we've had the addition of. So this is the trans colours. Is this the non-binary colours? I'm not sure. I'm going to check. Okay, so I've checked. I should have known it wasn't the non-binary. I know exactly what the non-binary flag looks like. So the purple, the white, and the green is the gender queer colours. So the gender queer flag is purple, white, and green. So yeah, I think that's it's a nice addition. King of Cups. Our Ace of Pentacles or Ace of Earth here. Really, really nice. Feels quite busy, but I like the busyness in this. Like really, really like it for some reason. There's just something about it that just works. I think it's the colours. The colours aren't too, there's not too much happening colour wise, and I think that just really, um, yeah, it's just really nice. Two of Earth. So we've got a couple of different things happening here. But we still have the two discs being represented in the lemniscate. Um, so that's really cool. For the three, we have the worker bees, which is perfect for the three of Earth. Four's quite similar. Background's changed a bit. Well, a bit. It's changed from purple to green. Our fives, again. Don't think much has been changed other than the title. Perfect Five of Earth. Our six, here we see quite a change. All of a sudden my cards are just moving all over the place of their own volition, which is really annoying. So this is a much more kind of a traditional idea of the six. We usually see it as the give and take card, the generosity card, the charity card. Here we see something quite different. We see what looks like a mother wolf carrying. Oh, hang on, I need to look at this. So she's carrying a. It looks like she's carrying a blanket with two babies inside. Am I seeing that right? That's quite cool. So you still get this idea of kind of a caring for someone else. Seven of Pentacles. Again, we see something similar. We see a gay couple here with their kid going up to the tree. The tree actually, it looks more detailed in the original than it does in the new one. But other than that, you know, the kind of the main gist of it is the same. The eight. So we get, you know, Santa's elves and Santa in our newer eight, and the kind of original. We get I forget what this is called, but you're getting a similar feel, you know, the kind of the hard work in the system that's been established in order to, you know, that productive system. Our nines. I really love this image. Oh, for goodness sake. If anyone knows a tip or a trick is to stop the cards from doing that, then please tell me what it is. But yeah, our nines are the same. Our tens also the same. Our pages of earth. So we see this kind of a hippie-ish looking child in the original page of earth, whereas here we've got more of a kind of a out seeking nature, out amongst nature. That's quite cool. Our Knight of Earth is pretty cool. I love it. It's a really cool card. This came up for me when I read for Justin, my friend Justin, once. And he said, "Can you pull one card?" This was public. This was on my channel when I was doing readings, by the way. He said, "Can you pull one card?" My question is, it was something about going to the gym. Should I keep going to the gym or should I change it up or something? I can't remember, but this was the card that came up for him. So this always reminds me of Justin. This card, our Queen of Earth, both absolutely stunning. I love the detail and the added detail in this one though. And I mean, who doesn't love ice cream? And then our King of Earth. You see the mother breastfeeding the child, providing for the young, the mama bear representation. Absolutely love it. So yeah, there we go. That is the side by side of the original version of the ZANEY Tarot and the ZANEY Tarot first anniversary edition. Okay, guys, so the scores are in. But before I'll let you know what they were. There's another additional card that comes with the first anniversary edition, and it is the Mycelium. Just let me hold that up, let you see it properly. So I had to look up what this is, but the mycelium is basically like the network that mushrooms grow from, that lots of mushrooms can grow from. So it's this kind of a network that connects all the mushrooms together, is the way that I've understood it. So it's kind of like, to me, I understand it to be like a metaphor for the unconscious, for the collective unconscious, this thing that we all grow from, that we'll all go back to. So I think that's quite good. I think it's quite cool. I do quite like that. Um, so this is the preferred pile for the original, and this is the preferred pile for the new first anniversary edition. Each of these is comprised of the cards which either I love them both equally from each deck or I preferred from this deck. And the scores are, so I've counted them up, and there's 53 in the original, which I've preferred, and there's 60 in the new first anniversary edition of the ZANEY Tarot that I've preferred. So it looks like my favourite of the two is the first anniversary edition. But that's obviously, and I mean that's not counting the backs either. And obviously I said, give me Rocky Horror any day. Obviously there's some cards in this deck which, that Ten of Swords, I absolutely love. The Empress, absolutely love it. There are some cards from this deck that you know that are just beautiful. However, those are that's how I've chosen. So let me know what you think. If you do something similar, do you have a clear preference? Obviously, mine was quite close. Do you have a clear preference across each deck? Let me know. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope that you've enjoyed this. Take care, everyone, and I shall see you all later. Bye bye.